and talked to the people of Caldwell County, especially the 4th District this morning. We had a theft of a truck. The thieves, it was Brian King's truck out on 139 South around Cook's grain bins. And the thieves were so brazen that they took that truck and drove across a field and took someone's trailer, loaded up 3 4-wheelers and a UTV, and left with it and stole that stuff. So what I wanted to come announce this morning, I posted a $500 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those perpetrators. And we also have another $500 donation this morning from a citizen of the 4th District of Caldwell County for the same purpose. The tolerance for this kind of behavior is just getting lower and lower, and people need to realize that when you go to start taking things that are somebody else's, that you're taking your life in your own hands. We also, I'm working on a program to get a few legal hurdles done, but we're also going to be looking at a bait program where we have things fitted with GPS. So if you're out there planning on stealing something in Caldwell County, the choice is yours, but I've talked to County Attorney Massey, and we are going to start really going after this stuff.
I will say, in places I've lived before, the bait program was very successful.
Yeah, and that's our hope. So if you make the choice to go out and steal from our ag community or any resident of Caldwell County, there's a really good chance that you're not going to get too far.
Well, what I've noticed and what I've heard just from these things happening is just that it's just been pretty, like you said, brazen. Word. They've just been right out and not really having much regard to where, when, and how. It's just they just go and get it, not
right.
So that's not very comforting.
No, and the thing is that when that starts to happen and that brazen escalates, being that brazen, then people start to fear for their own safety, and ultimately we want to prevent a loss of life. And, if you go on other people's property and you attempt to steal from them, most of the courts around here would have a hard time you not saying that there was some self-defense opportunities. So we need to be really cautious. Of course, I'm not advising on what the court would decide, nor any attorney or any of that. But I just want people to understand, especially if there's so many other options than stealing from somebody that's working for what they have. It is not worth your life to steal a trailer, a utility trailer, or a 4-wheeler. So my plea is more for the people that have that on their mind out there, that they look for other alternatives, because I feel that the escalation in Kentucky, Caldwell County, and other counties is getting to the point where it's beginning to get unsafe.
Well, and I'll tell you, if you are a homeowner, and I will tell you one thing that seems to have worked in the north end of the county when it got pretty bad there. We all kind of banded together. We were calling each other. I don't care if it's 11 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We were texting each other. We were talking to one another. We were saying, hey, this strange vehicle has gone by. This guy in this color truck. Get your game cameras out.
Yes.
It doesn't always have to be you sitting on the porch with a shotgun to make a
Absolutely.
difference. It can be a phone call. It can be a text. It can be an informational, hey, Jeff Sims, I saw this guy today. And, you would be surprised how much just information itself can help in the long run.
Yeah, and these GPS units, battery powered, they have proximity switches on them, so the battery life's like 6 months, and if they move outside of a certain area, they trigger and ping you their location. So as a homeowner, an equipment owner, a farmer, whoever, there's nothing to say that you can't go out and buy these yourself, and they're relatively inexpensive.
Well, and put locks on your trailers, on the tongues. That can help right there. Lock your buildings up. I know it's a pain to have to go out there and unlock that building every day just to get a hammer. I understand that, but you'd rather have that hammer there the next time you go, and if they steal it, it won't be. Lock up your buildings. Turn on your lights. get those LED lights, get some of those security lights, and
Yeah.
they're motion activated, or maybe you already have lights and you can just screw in one of those light bulbs with the motion activation on it. Those are things that can really make a difference. If you're going to have things, don't make it easy to steal.
Right.
And Jeff, as a county official, you talked about rewards, those kind of things. Where are we? I know it's been talked about in the past for have a formal Crime Stoppers or something like that. Have we ever tossed that around in county government, at local government, about getting something organized so where we have, many communities have it?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know of any activity on that, or if anything's been tried. I mean, I'm sure things have been tried. I don't know in the past, but that's certainly something that we're going to look into. And I mean, Roy Jean Rogers has a Facebook page that he reports stolen items on. So definitely, I'm talking to him quite a bit now on many things. So,
Oh, and I will tell you,
we'll just
that's
add
my
that
neck
to
of the woods, and
Yeah.
that worked.
Yeah,
It
helped,
worked.
certainly.
And I think these programs in communities that have implemented them, like a Crime Stoppers or a Neighborhood Watch or something like that, does work when neighbors are helping neighbors, whether it's informally or formally. But at least the formal structure seems to have some law enforcement aspect and some teeth into it,
Sure.
instead of just it being, not that it's unorganized, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
It's somewhat sanctioned
specific.
by a government.
Right.
Well, and in years past, everybody used to know their neighbors, and in this day and age, we are so busy, and we don't take the time to get to know our neighbors. So you may not know the person that lives next door to you, and now's a good time to do that. Now is a good
Sure.
time to get to know them.
And the other thing that adds value to this proposition, like you talk about being vigilant and looking at your neighbors, is every time one of these thefts occur, especially a theft on this scale where you're talking about $30,000 worth of equipment, the insurance rates that everybody carries because of that theft, it just raises them. So we have to be vigilant. I want people to know that it's on our minds. It's specifically on my mind because I've having to deal with it right now. But I appreciate the people wanting to come forward with reward offers, and it's enough, man. People are sick of it. They're tired, and it's becoming a safety thing. And it's for our law enforcement, the amount of theft is so great. I think it's just overwhelming. I think it's time that Caldwell County, we've got to pitch in. We've got to help.
Well, they do, what they can, but
Yeah.
especially if it's before the act, be vigilant and help yourself.
Yeah.
Put the lights up, lock the doors. Let's get the padlocks out and start locking up the tongues. And if nothing else, I'm not saying they can't get around it, but I will tell you, it's going to take them a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And the longer it takes them to take it, the more likely they are to be seen when they're doing it.
That's right. So just appreciate you guys letting me on and to talk about this. It's just one more thing that we're trying to do to make Caldwell County better, and we appreciate your all support to do so.
Well, thank you so much. And, of course, give them your phone number if they have any information for that reward
Yep.
and that sort of thing.
270-601-1081.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you. They
appreciate
can
it.
also call the Caldwell County Sheriff.
If you have
be
any
preferable.
information, make sure you call the Sheriff's Department first thing. Let them know. And 911 is the number that you always need to keep handy.
That's right.
All right. Well, thanks so
Thank
much.
you all.
Hey, it is Tess and Ty and Coffee Talk and Jeff Sims, and we sure do appreciate you. It's 1580 103.3 WPKY.
The voice of Caldwell County. We're 1580 103.3 WPKY Princeton.